The second part of the question is on computation of capital allowance claim, balancing charges and balancing allowance for the relevant year of assessment up to YA 2018. Now, what does it mean by relevant years of assessment? It means that we need to compute the capital allowance from the year of purchase, or if it is used plant and machinery, since the year the assets being brought into the business, and we are going to stop our computation at YA 2018. So in this question we have three items. The first one is lorry, the second one is cabinets, and the third one is generator. Therefore, when we answer this question, please specify your answer clearly. Your computation relates to which item. The question shows that the first item, which is lorry, was purchased by using hire purchase mechanism. Therefore, we need to find out the capital portion in each installment, and please show your working. So we arrive at 2,000 ringgit per month. Yeah, refer to your notes again if you cannot recall how it is done. So the date of purchase for the lorry was 14 February 2016. Since the year end was on 31st December annually, therefore the year of purchase is YA 2016. So in the year of purchase, the business incurred two items. One is deposit and the second one is installment between 1st May 2016 until 31st December 2016. So between this period, the number of installment is 8 times. So this leads us to a qualifying expenditure of 46,000. So 46,000 is what we call as qualifying expenditure incurred during the current year. Another thing that we need to find out is the accumulated qualifying expenditure. Since YA 2016 is the year of purchase, therefore the amount of accumulated qualifying expenditure is similar to the amount of QE incurred for the current year. Why is it important? Because these two values will be used to compute our capital allowance. Now, IA, the rate of IA is 20% because it is a fixed rate unless it is otherwise stated. Again, the concept is IA is 20% from the accumulated QE. I repeat. IA is 20% from the qualifying expenditure incurred during the current year. On the other hand, annual allowance is 20% from accumulated QE. Now, mind you that annual allowance rate is 20% because lorry is considered as a motor vehicle. So, finally, we arrive at residual expenditure of 27,600. In the next year, which is YA 2017, the business incurred more qualifying expenditure because it paid installments. So, for the whole 12 months, in YA 2017, the QE incurred is 24,000. So, we need to total up with the RE of last year. So, the QE is 51,600. So, 24,000 is the qualifying expenditure incurred during the year. Therefore, our IA is based on this figure, 24,000. So, this is the working. And for annual allowance, the amount will be based on 70,000. Where does this figure come from? This one. 70,000 ringgit consists of qualifying expenditure incurred in YA 2016 and also qualifying expenditure incurred in YA 2017. Finally, we arrive at residual expenditure of 32,800. Now, 2018 is the year of disposal. Why do I say that? Because if we refer to the question, the lorry was disposed on 30th November 2018. Okay, even though the business paid installment between January to November, January to October 2016, since YA 2018 is the year of disposal, therefore we are not going to claim any capital allowance in this year. So when we have a disposal, the first thing we need to double check is the period of ownership, whether it is 2 years or more or less than 2 years. Why? Because it has the effect whether the capital allowance should be clawed back or not. Okay, so since the date of acquisition was 14 February 2016 and the date of disposal was 30th November 2018, we can conclude that the period of ownership is more than 2 years. Therefore, there will be no capital allowance will be clawed back. Okay, and we need to decide whether there is a balancing charge or balancing allowance arise from the disposal. Okay, so the next step is we are going to compare residual expenditure against its disposal value in order to determine whether it is a balancing allowance or balancing charge. So we can see that the residual expenditure is 32,800 and the insurance claim it was 50,000. Therefore, we can say that the disposal value was higher than the residual expenditure. Therefore, the difference will be balancing charge. Now, when we arrive at a balancing charge upon a disposal, we need to double check whether this amount of 17,200 is more or less than capital allowance previously claimed. Because the rules is if we arrive at a balancing charge when we compare residual expenditure against its disposal value, this amount cannot exceed the amount of capital allowance previously claimed, which here is YA 2016 and 2017. So that's why I add another column here. So we can see that the capital allowance claimed in YA 2016 and 2017 is more than this figure. Therefore, our balancing charge is remain at the amount of 17,200.